one. Okay. Good afternoon. Hi, Stephen. How you doing?
Hey.
Thanks for coming. This is one of my great patients, Stephen Hutton. And he was one of my very first patients when I actually had my office on Venice Boulevard, if you can believe it. Not such a swell neighborhood.
No way.
And yeah, and I think Stephen even told me, he said, well, we've gotten to know each other since then. Stephen even told me that, you know, he thought there were going to be like bullet holes or something nearby my house, and he was ready to turn around and go home.
Yeah.
You know, you see this great website, and all of a sudden you get to this house. Well, it was an interim period for me. That was a long time ago when I just moved my practice to my home. I think every doctor does that at some point in their life. And he's going, no, if you want to be successful, you need to be way north of here on Wilshire Boulevard, out of your house, or you're not going to get any of the patients you want.
And you did it, didn't you?
He helped me a lot, yeah. But anyway, this is about Stephen and his journey of healing, incredible healing, literally miracles. This is one of my, I would say, my best patient I've ever had. The transformation and what he was dealing with. It was, and how fast it happened was amazing. So I'll let him tell the story.
Well, it all began, I believe, back in 2006. Like Dana said, he was brand new, just fresh out of medical school, so on and so forth. And I was experiencing, at that time, what I felt was probably the second worst period of my life at that time. I had some very serious issues that happened back in the 1980s. The loss of my wife and my son simultaneously. It put me off the deep end. I left Palm Beach, Florida, and came out to California, and got involved in another relationship. My business was going bad. A lot of things in my life just were less than perfect, to put it mildly. I was feeling, as much as I'm embarrassed to say this, I was having some very deep and dark thoughts, wishes. Some of them included suicide, because at that time I did not see a way out. I started to see medical doctors, and of course they immediately began prescribing Wellbutrin, Paxil, Depakote, Buspartin. Gosh, I don't even know all the alphabet soup of antidepressants that they were giving me. And needless to say, those were making my life probably even worse. I was walking around like a zombie, to say the least. I had no pleasure in life whatsoever, and I mean no pleasure. I knew there had to be, I felt inside that there had to be something different, something better. I started looking at, actually I heard a program on TV about how the Queen of England and her family never go to medical doctors. And that piqued my interest. And I began to look into homeopathic, naturopathic doctors, so on and so forth. And I started to do some online search. And I ran across this name, Dr. Dana Churchill, heartfelt medicine. And I thought, this sounds like a nice girl. And I was surprised that it was. It didn't matter. But I liked the name. It just kind of stuck out. Contacted, I don't remember if I contacted you directly or spoke to somebody first. Doesn't matter. We met, and like Dana said, I drove all the way from the Palm Springs, Palm Desert area all the way into LA. And like Dana said, when I got into the neighborhood, I was about ready to turn around. But nonetheless, I'm glad I went up. We had a very good first meeting, subsequent meetings. And to make a very long story short, Dana found I guess you'd call it a remedy, homeopathic remedy for my situation. And I kid you not, it was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. Within a very short period of time, I believe the remedy it gave me was Aurum Metallicum. Within a matter of a couple of days, I could not believe what was going on with me. I thought, wait a minute, I'm pinching myself. Wait a minute, I'm losing my business. My house is possibly going to go into foreclosure. The world is caving in. My mother's going to a nursing home. Wait a minute, I feel good. What the hell is this stuff? You know, I thought maybe because of the neighborhood he was in, maybe it was on a new kind of drug. I'm kidding, but it wasn't a drug. It was a naturopathic remedy, and for whatever reason, it worked. But what was even more amazing was, I believe, before you gave me the Aurum, you were getting me off of all the antidepressants.
Yeah.
So that was we did that.
There's a process of detoxification, try to wean them off these other meds. Not simple.
That was difficult.
Yeah.
That was a
because they're all locked into all the receptors. I mean, it's like playing a piano in the brain. All the neurotransmitter receptors, the opiate receptors. I mean, and these are things that are making your serotonin, a lot of hormones and a lot of neurotransmitters, and to get them out means, you got to almost wipe out. Those receptors are all going to go down for a short period of time, and you're not going to have any fun. I mean, you'll literally feel void of, and you'll be sick. I help people gracefully through this. I've done enough cases to know there's a certain, we use nutraceuticals, we use herbals, homeopathics, types of therapy to do that.
What was so interesting was that after I went through that process of detoxification, and when the Orem was administered, it was a one-time deal. It wasn't like I had to be on pills constantly. That was the beauty of it for me. Like I said, I could not believe the rapid change that happened, but even I felt kind of honored because I guess I was one of your first guinea pigs, I guess.
No, I've been doing homeopathy for quite a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I just had my naturopathic license, but even before school started, and then all during my school, I probably studied homeopathy half the time, and all my other subjects put together half the time. Although I didn't have to do a whole lot with nutrition because I had a degree in nutrition, so it was a little bit easier for me.
And what impressed me about you too is not only just your naturopathic medical degree, the medical degree and everything else. You understood the dangers of those pharmaceutical drugs that those other MDs had me on. And
well, I have a lot of MD friends. We're not here to bash MDs. No. I've grown a lot of my practice. Amazing. There's a lot of MDs doing a lot of the similar medicine I'm doing now. But let's just leave them out. But those drugs, those antidepressants, we know for a fact some of them have studies, and the people using them have committed suicide, and they've also killed other people. So they really are kind of maybe in their infancy still. I'm not going to name any specific one, but and they don't work that long. Any patients I've ever had coming into my practice, which is a small segment of the population, granted, they're the ones it doesn't work for. I think there are people they might work for really well, and they go on for years. But I've seen a ton of people that didn't. It stopped working. Now they have all these drugs in their brain, all interfering with their thinking and everything, and they got to get it out, and they don't know what to do. That's the danger part right there. How to wean them off that without having any serious effects. So.
I became very frightened of the antidepressants that I was on, basically because of the story that you just spoke to. I had a very good friend, very close friend, that actually committed suicide. He was on antidepressants for a long period of time, and I was fearful that I was headed in that direction. So thanks for keeping me from that. I appreciate that. And
no, that's fine. And I want to say one more thing. We have to look for the underlying cause, okay? The depression isn't a byproduct of the drugs, and I won't go there, but what we need to do is look at what's the root cause of the depression? What's the organic cause to begin with? And Stephen had a major trauma that most people may not even survive over their life. It was such a huge hit to his psyche, his emotion, everything. Losing a young child and a new wife, all at once, one day, this is massive. So to be able to function in life after that, it takes a lot of work. It really does. And homeopathic remedies can help facilitate that work. They're not going to do the work for you, but if you get the right remedy, what we call the similimum, you can literally dredge stuff out of the subconscious. All that stuff that you're stuffing in there that you can't deal with, it's too traumatic, start to bring it out little by little by little. And also you have physiologic effects, because you have a lot of stuff going on with your heart.
Oh, yes.
At one point I'm going, Stephen, you need to go to a cardiologist. You need to get an EKG. You got to go. He said, no, I'm not going to do it. And the remedy, little by little, was opening up. He's having chest pains, but this is just Stephen's case. I'm not recommending this for anybody in the world. Everybody else said, you need to go do it right. Stephen didn't want to. But Orem is a really powerful remedy for the heart and for the vascular system. And in the old days, when they didn't have anything else, they just gave them the remedy, and it almost always worked. I never heard a case where anybody died or had a heart attack or anything. The remedy will open up the areas, unblock. It'll work for the whole body, and that's what was happening to you. And now you haven't had any heart stuff recently?
No. And that's been 6 years ago.
Yeah.
6 years ago.
You know, I got to do a cardiac panel, man. This lipids, cholesterol, it was crazy. I'm like, Steven, you know, we're putting on fish oil. I was doing a lot of other things too. I mean,
I was a walking time bomb.
Yeah, it was making me nervous. You know, I'm in LA and he's in Palm Springs. Steven, what's going on today?
Are you still alive?
Are you okay? No, I didn't say that.
Well,
but it was a miracle. And when you can find the right homeopathic remedy, and I've had maybe 10 cases like this since I've started. I mean, we've definitely helped people with a lot of remedies, but sometimes you get this perfect one. It just breaks open the mental, emotional, physical, even touching on sometimes spiritual, like opening them up to be more in tune with the universe and just more in tune with what's around them, and all that depression and that grief stuff, it just slips away. It's really huge. So thank you so much for coming today.
thank you.
Thanks for being my friend.
Thanks again.